If you are a fan of detailed modular buildings, Victorian architecture, or just love a good value for money set, then this might be exactly what you are looking for. Today, we are diving into one of Pantasy's most ambitious sets yet. It's big, it's beautiful, and it might just surprise you in more ways than one. So let's take a closer look at Pantasy's Sherlock Holmes Baker Street 221B apartment. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Lucas and a big thank you to Pantasy for kindly sending over this set for review. Let's start with the minifigures, where we can find 5 of them. Sherlock Holmes, Dr. John Watson, Mrs. Hudson, Inspector Lestrade and Jefferson Hope. I received the newly designed versions, but it's worth noting that earlier batches of the set may have included older minifigure design or none at all. In my case, the figures are presented in static poses, with no accessories and no alternate facial expressions. We also get a wonderfully charming horse-drawn carriage, styled after classic Victorian era transportation. The roof is removable, but unfortunately, the minifigure is too large to fit comfortably inside. On top of that, the driver can't sit in a regular upright position, so he actually has to stand directly on the driver's seat to fit, and beneath the driver's seat is a ring. A clever reference to a key piece of evidence from a study in Scarlet. As mentioned earlier, this set is inspired by Sherlock Holmes' iconic 221B Baker Street apartment, and is filled with clever nods to both the original novels and TV adaptations. So let's begin by exploring the exterior and street level details. Outside the building, you will find a street lamp, a post office mailbox, and some pavement tiling, though there are no studs to pose minifigures, which is a bit of missed opportunity. This is a modular-style building, so while the front facade is beautifully detailed, the other 3 sides are quite plain by comparison. So let's turn our attention to the front facade. And there are some great touches here. You will see a printed Baker Street sign, outdoor seating with small tables, and a printed 221B door, which is a small but very welcome inclusion. The awning above the cafe looks excellent, and while the adjacent door is unprinted, the overall design makes up for it with charm. I also appreciated the window designs, and I thought the upper floor's facade was done especially well. There is a lot of greenery on the upper levels, hanging plants, golden croissants, and other fun decorative elements that bring the front facade to life. You also find hanging lights, brick-built pillars, and some unique ornament pieces that you rarely see in modular buildings. As mentioned, the other 3 sides are fairly simple, but there are still a few details to discover. On the rear facade, there is a hidden door that opens to reveal a treasure chest, which is a fun Easter egg. One of the side facades features a drain pipe running from the rooftop to the ground, along with a chimney. However, I did feel the chimney could have used more attachment points, especially considering how far these elements extend beyond the base plate's edge. Also, you might have noticed that it might be challenging to connect the building flush with other modular sets. Now, let's explore the interior. The building is made up of 4 distinct levels, all beautifully crafted. As you would expect from a modular build, each floor, including the rooftop, is fully removable for easy access and display. So let's start with the ground floor, which features a fully detailed coffee shop, clearly inspired by Speedy's Café from the show. The interior is packed with charm and realism. On one side, there is a large coffee press, cups, a dessert tray, and even a dishwasher. A printed menu board sits above the counter, while the other side offers plenty of seating, complete with condiment bottles on the tables and various printed tiles that add extra depth and atmosphere. You will also find the main staircase leading to the upper floors. The corridor includes a coat rack, printed artwork, and even a hidden treasure chest tucked under the stairs, cleverly connected to that secret door we saw at the rear exterior. On the first floor, you enter Sherlock's living room and compact kitchen laboratory. Despite its small footprint, the kitchen includes cabinets, a stove, sink, and a lab bench filled with scientific equipment. There is also a large fridge and more printed artwork throughout the space. The living room really captures Sherlock's eccentric character. There is a large fireplace, British flag printed chairs, a rack, and a bookshelf stocked with potions, gems, and accessories. A chess set, tea service and printed map, and even a reindeer head mounted on the wall round out the decor. If you are a Sherlock Holmes fan, there are so many hidden references to enjoy. That said, one odd design choice stood out. There are door frames, but no actual doors, which feels a bit unfinished. The staircase continues upward in the corner, flanked by even more framed artwork along the walls. The next floor houses the bedrooms of Holmes and Watson, and there is a lovely little nod to the Hound of the Baskervilles. A hound's head ornament is built right into the stairwell. Watson's room is simple but cozy, with a bed, side table, painting, and a wardrobe. In contrast, Sherlock's bedroom bursts with personality. There is a large bed, a dresser cluttered with accessories, and plenty of printed decorations. Scattered across the room are newspapers, clippings, a violin with a music stand, and a desk featuring a clue wall with typewriter. That clue wall is one of my favorite details. It feels straight out of a classic detective film. You will also find another fireplace, an armchair, and several landscape paintings decorating the walls. Finally, we reach the top floor. From the front, the roof design looks fantastic, but from the rear, there is an overhanging section that feels a bit unbalanced. That said, there is also a rooftop terrace with a skylight, which is a nice way to wrap the vertical journey. There is not much happening up here, but I did enjoy the small smoke element rising from the chimney, a charming little touch that brings the whole build to life. This set is priced at around $150 American and includes 3,087 pieces along with 5 minifigures. Now, I don't know if you caught last week's video, but just to put things into perspective, LEGO recently released the Sherlock Holmes Book Nook, priced at $110 American with significantly fewer pieces. That really brings up some interesting questions about LEGO's pricing strategy, doesn't it? When you compare the two side by side, I think the choice is pretty clear. If I were you, I know which one I would pick. The set includes 2 instruction manuals, both clear and easy to follow, and the minifigures come in a separate bag with their own mini instruction sheet, so you can choose to build them first or save them for last. As said previously, the minifigures weren't originally included in the earlier versions of the set, or at least not the same ones, because I have seen older builds with different or no minifigures at all. The one I received are the latest updated versions from Pantasy. Interestingly, this was my first time seeing stickers in a Pantasy set, larger, and a few even stretch across multiple bricks. So if you're planning to rebuild or repurpose the parts later, keep that in mind. Even the stickers placed on a single tiles tend to go edge to edge, so you will want to be careful during placement. On the bright side, there is also a generous number of printed tiles, but I did notice that the styles vary quite a bit, sometimes feeling inconsistent. For example, the portraits don't really resemble the minifigures, which I found a little strange. Now for the model itself, I was genuinely impressed by the level of detail. The interior decorations and architectural touches gave it a rich, complete look, and it didn't rely too heavily on stickers to achieve that. The overall build experience was very satisfying, and the finished model looks fantastic. In terms of the actual build process, it's pretty straightforward. No overly complex techniques. The whole build took me about 6 hours, and I really enjoyed it. Each floor came together quickly, which helps keep the pace engaging. It definitely felt a little different from the typical Pantasy modular building. It's more toned down, but in a way that captures the atmosphere of a classic London street really well. But now I want to hear from you. Do you already have this set in your collection, or are you still on fence about picking it up? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content from Brick Universe, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and use the affiliate links if you plan to picking up any brick build models. Thanks again, and until next time, happy building!